you wanna just come up a little bit more, Tula, and that's way do a Tula review here of The Cleaner. So I saw it. It came out in February 2025. I finally saw it last night. Came to cable pretty quickly. It was during the sleepy period of even with digital and streaming, Hollywood still operates more or less the same, even in this age. With having the sleeper movies, the not so good movies, be it January, February, and then they don't start rolling out their good shit till their wannabe good shit until March, April, May, summer season, and then there's like another lull, which happens before the fall movie season, which is like usually, I guess August to about August-ish to around Halloween, then the maybe a little bit before Halloween, but definitely by November, December, the winter Hollywood film season starts into high gear. Hey, you're a beauty. I know. You're my Chutula. Yeah, you like licking the Star Wars logo. Me too. I spend many hours doing that. No, just kidding. Oh, Dula. What you were like my. I wish we were reviewing a Star Wars that was good from 40 years ago, but yeah, my shirt does say Star Wars 1977, so Star Wars will be officially 50 years old. Yeah, in 2027. Whoa. Time flies. Ooh, when you're getting old. No, so The Cleaner. Is there anything positive about it? Or I call it Dietard, since it has the autistic guy in it. So, I was going to call the review Die Retard, but then I thought, well, Dietard would be a little bit funnier. Yeah, the Dietard. All right. So The Cleaner, what happens in it? Daisy Ridley is a little girl, and she has an autistic brother, and but she has a really nasty father, and he yells at them all the time, and he's an abusive father, and getting into fights with the mother, and always calling the retarded, the autistic son, you're an idiot, and you're a piece of shit, and you make my life hell, and I wish you'd never been born, and all that sort of like abuse cliches. And then you see the first shot is a young Daisy Ridley as a young girl, and she's like the professional from the Leon, actually Natalie Portman's character, and Luc Besson's the professional. Was it Luc Besson? I want to say. So she's like, I want to be a cleaner. I want to be a hitman. And so it's interesting that this movie's called The Cleaner. And then the first shot is doing what Leon does, which is acrobatics in enclosed spaces. You see Daisy Ridley's character, Joanna, or she's called Joey. I don't know if that's some kind of wokeism to call her Joey, but her real name is Joanna. So her real name is called Joanna. So then the first shot is her coming up like kind of like Leon, John Reno from The Professional, and I was thinking, oh, is that like a nod to The Professional? And then she gets on the walls and she's avoiding the conflict of her family, kind of cowardly, and then to escape all the trauma of her broken family and the abuse that her father gives the family and her autistic brother, she becomes Spider-Woman and Leon the Professional, and she does amazing acrobatic stunts, and she can climb along walls like Spider-Man, and then she can climb outside of big tall buildings, and she's not afraid of heights, or she's not afraid of slipping and falling or anything. It's all magical. Yeah. All right, so that's the setup for The Cleaner, and I didn't really expect the Professional Natalie Portman, Jean Reno homage, but that was kind of interesting, I thought. Yeah. She didn't drink a glass of milk or anything before she went outside the building. But it was fascinating. Then, baby girl. Baby girl. Oh man, baby girl comes into the picture. Daisy Ridley. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Yeah, baby girl comes in and she's hot, for her age. What is she? They say she's 26 in this movie, but in real life, I think she's a little bit closer to 30. She's like 29. Maybe she's 30 already. I don't know. But so she's late for work, but her brother is autistic and keeps on getting kicked out of homes. So she has to go rescue him and then not be late for work. And then she has problems with her alarm clock and motorcycle and all kinds of shit. And she gets on the wrong bus. And then her thing is she likes to say fuck a lot and shit and motherfucker and fuck. And she says fuck a lot. She's like, fuck. And she likes to say shit. She's a bad girl. And she even has tattoos this time. She has a little bit of tattoos, so she's a bad girl. And she's a bad bitch. And she's a mean bitch. And she says the F word. She's bad as fuck. She has a motorcycle. She kicks ass. Wow, that's so sexy. Ugh. Isn't that so sexy, Tula? A girl in blue jeans that has tattoos, that has a motorcycle with short hair. That's so 1980s. It's so punk. It's such a punk girl. It's almost like a post-punk girl, right? It's like a late 1970s, almost like a 1980s kind of girl. Yeah. So she goes, and her brother is like autistic, but I don't know. It's not Asperger's, but he's autistic. He's on the spectrum or something, but he's afraid, and he holds a hammer like Thor from the Avengers, and like he believes that his main obsession is like the Avengers, and so he carries Thor's hammer. I guess that's his like Linus Blanky from Peanuts. That's his like safety zone, and then. If not, he freaks out. He goes, I'm scared, I can't do anything. Ah. And that he trips out autistically or something. Anxiety, autism, speedtardism, special ed stuff. Yeah. So he has problems. Daisy Ridley's late for work to clean the outside of windows at this building for the, what is it called? For the Nakatomi, she has to clean the windows of the Nakatomi Plaza. No, it's in Britain. It's in London. The Agningiac, whatever corporation. It's basically like Klaxon Corporation from, like the inspiration for Die Hard, which is like an oil company. The Klaxon oil company and Nothing Lasts Forever, and the original inspiration for Die Hard by Roderick Thorpe. In the late 70s, so it's like that. Yeah. So that's another thing. That's another parallel. Like I didn't think that they were gonna make a connection with The Professional, with Leon and Natalie Portman, and then the movie's called The Cleaner. But also, I didn't know that they were gonna make a connection with Nakatomi and Die Hard 1988. I guess it's like a just international. I don't think it's an energy firm in that movie. It's not even really. I don't even know if I guess it's architecture, trades, and acquisitions. I want to say that's what they do. Yeah, but it's not oil and energy. I don't believe. It's more like they do projects. Yeah, transportation projects. It's architecture, infrastructure, or all those big boy words and stuff. All those big things. Yeah. Get Tula to relax over here. Tula review. Yeah, she is a lot more relaxed if she's not alone. She's like the character, Joanna's brother in the movie, he doesn't like to be alone, and he freaks out if he's alone. Um, so he puts so she puts she puts her brother, since she's late for work, with a concierge, or I'm sorry, security guard, named Big Ron, and then he's like, "Don't go, don't go," and she's like, "I got to go to work. Can I stay with you?" 'Cause since he got kicked out of like 9 places, and she's like, "We'll talk about it later." And he's like, "My phone isn't charged." Nah. But then, so he's like scared of everything, but then somehow he's a computer hacking genius or something. So it's indicated that he's getting kicked out of the last place because he's a genius and hacked into all the computer files or something. So he's retarded, but he's a Asperger's or some shit. He's autistic, but somehow he's a genius too. So it's kind of like a cliche where it's like, but it's the Alan, it's the Rain Man cliche. The cliche of people on the spectrum is that they're all geniuses, which that is not the case. Yeah, yeah. So that's a mythical Hollywood cliche that all people with Asperger's and autism and spectrum disorders are all like magical geniuses, and they can crack any code in the universe, and they're all like amazing at computers and technology, and they can go to Vegas and make like $1 billion in a few rounds and stuff like that. It's bullshit, but that's how they use autistic savant people. Yeah, but I mean, there's different kinds. There's like, yeah, it doesn't. When you say autism spectrum disorder, autist, you need to specify like what it is, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether there's a, like Asperger's is a disorder that's different than like Tourette's, or savantism is different. So there's different kinds of orders and disorders. It's not just like one. It's not just like one cliche Hollywood kind of thing. So I was kind of like, yawn. Okay, so he's gonna be the guy who's scared, and then she has to save her brother, and then but he's gonna be a genius at the computers and stuff like that. And he also creates like kind of an action team for a little while, a brother and sister action team. So yeah, Clive Owen. This is what. So basically, a pro climate group takes over this oil building, and then it's up to Daisy Ridley to save these hostages and stop these eco terrorists from causing mayhem and killing everyone in the name of protecting people from climate change, or protecting people from hydrocarbons or the burning of fossil fuels or global warming. So that the climate revolution cult eco-terrorist network can save the planet, save humanity by stopping fossil fuels and carbon emissions. Yeah, that's what it's about. Oh yeah. And sexual? Is there anything sexual with Baby Girl? There's nothing sexual in this movie. There's lots of beautiful women in it, but nothing at all sexual. Yeah. So there's no, like in Die Hard, there's like, Bruce Willis, he walks by the scantily clad woman, and there's a noise that goes wow or something. Okay. And there's naked women, there's people having sex, there's people interested in sexual things, there's people interested in who's single, who's not, there's things that are human going on in that movie a lot. Like there's people that are interested in sexual intercourse, sexual feelings, romantic feelings, companionship, some sort of love or something, but there's nothing like that going on in this movie. Yeah. There's like paternal love, like for brother and sister, but there's not like. Okay. Wait. Okay, the boss sneaks off with a woman to bang some girl at the party. That's it. Okay. But I'm saying like, All right, so Daisy Ridley's in this movie. She's single in this movie. None of the guys hit on her, even though she's obviously attractive and she's single. So I didn't find that realistic. All right, so they use the cliche where the boss is like Harvey Weinstein and he goes off and bangs some young chick. All right, because he's got all the money and the power and all that stuff. Yeah. All right, but that's cliche. That's why I'm kind of putting that on the back burner, that Dark Knight kind of shit where it's like, oh, there's a big party. Oh, the guy sneaks away and bangs some chick. That's like been happening in movies. You know, that's just so cliche. And like this movie, it's just all cliche. It's just all borrows from other shit that's way better. And, okay. Well, Dula, yeah. You didn't see The Cleaner with me last night because you were sleeping. Oh. I love you too. So Captain Planet and the terrorist Planeteers show up and fuck up the Klaxon oil or Agnimion or whatever it's called, corporate die-hard type party, a party to celebrate the company's success and its profits. Agnian, what is it called? Agnian or some shit like that. They're supposed to be the entertainment, but they're the terrorists. We're tonight's entertainment. There's a lot of like Dark Knight similarities in the entrance of the villains. And so a lot of similarities to Die Hard. This is like Die Tard. Die Retard. Clive Owen shows up, the great, brilliant actor Clive Owen. And one of the complaints of the movie is that he's quickly, spoiler alert, Clive Owen is quickly killed off as Marcus. A very kind of a great villain. It's just because Clive Owen is such a brilliant actor, delivers his lines so well, and they're written so well. And then after that, everything goes to basically shit. Yeah. So it's just a by the numbers action movie. Daisy Ridley tries to break that kind of like trying to go Miley Cyrus. Probably in the next movie she'll be butt naked and she'll be wearing like a Speedo or something, or maybe she'll just be butt naked in the whole movie. She'll have a lot of tattoos and a lot of piercings to show that she's such a bad girl. And maybe she'll ride the motorcycle butt naked. And she'll try to break that pretty clean Rey Skywalker, that Rey from the Star Wars sequel trilogy image that she's such a clean, nice girl like she is in real life. And she's such a delightful woman. And so... do I think she'll be able to break it? I don't think so. I don't think she'll ever... I don't think she's a great enough actress. I don't think that baby girl is talented enough to actually, act. Like, she was just picked because she was a fresh-faced, pretty girl anyway. Well, yeah, she could do acting enough to get by. But I really don't expect in her future to see some tour de force, hardcore drama that changes my mind about Daisy Ridley. Just being a fresh, pretty face and not really much else going on there. But who knows? Surprises may lay in her career future. Clive Owen was obviously underutilized. It was kind of fun because this cast there's no people from America, as far as I know. It's mostly a British cast, a British story. It's just a British, I guess, female version of Die Hard. There's a lot of girl power, girl empowerment. The lead, the person in charge uh, of the police affairs during this corporate terrorist takeover is a woman. And so the protagonist is a woman. She has to save the man. And so she's a girl boss that has to save all the men. And she can fight guys that are a lot bigger and stronger than her. And all those disappointing woke cliches. And then I suppose by the end, after they stop the eco-terrorists, and they're going to leak the information about the evil oil and gas petro company, then I guess they're going to save the world from climate change too. And I suppose they're going to save I suppose in the movie, Daisy Ridley and her brother are going to save and the police are going to save the world from climate change. Save it from the patriarchy. Yeah. The movie was a little bit more entertaining than I thought it was going to be. Just a little bit. I think that's because I didn't think that there was going to be a lot of decent action scenes. There's some decent action scenes. And they have a pretty blonde hacker in the movie, which elevates the movie because they have a really sexy blonde hacker. And that really brings the movie up a little bit up the notch. Clive Owen, even though he's there very briefly, brings up the movie because he's such a great actor. So if he had been in the whole thing, maybe instead of a 5 out of 10 movie, maybe it would have went up 6 out of 10 or 7 out of 10. He could have elevated the movie a little bit higher. But since it was, kill the patriarchy, kill all the men suck, and kill them off quickly, the movie suffered in its low Die Hard ripoff status. The British female woke version of Die Hard that's environmentally friendly. Yeah, that's anti-corporate and anti-profit. Yeah, okay. Save the earth, save the whales. Or as George Carlin once said in a monologue, save the bees, save the trees. Yeah. So the film does deservedly so earn its clone status, its mediocre status. Yeah. It's not great at all. But if you like to look at some pretty British girls for a few hours, and you're not in the UK, and you're not in Great Britain, or around British people, then this movie might be for you then. I felt like the building for the kind of action that was going on was a little bit too small, the set pieces. I think that in other big kind of movies like this, big hostage terrorism, Die Hard type movies, I usually believe that the buildings are usually bigger. They're usually more, there's more set. Yeah, this felt very small, like way too small for what they were actually going for. So I guess it was adequate, but I don't think it was really up to the task of the kind of story they were trying to tell. So I suppose they had to make the building smaller to show like the reaction of the people on the street, I guess. So the bigger the bigger the building is, like Die Hard, or like Superman movies, the harder it is to connect, I suppose, the action going on in the building with the people's reaction down on the ground, or their fear and fright and running, dodging, bullets and bombs and shit, and fireballs and shit like that. And also when they're dodging dead bodies, maybe it doesn't have the, like, if it's like Die Hard, the building is a little bit smaller, or in this movie, the Agnian building. But if it's like World Trade Center, like by the time the body hits the ground, it's like already splattered everywhere, and so maybe it's not quite the impact. Well,